Because it is expensive to be poor.
Say it again.
It is expensive to be poor. Yes. And here's what I mean.
Yes, Lord.
People don't realize that if you're living paycheck to paycheck right now,
I gotta write that down.
Right? If you're living paycheck to paycheck right now and you are trying to figure out how to make ends meet, what are you gonna do? You're gonna borrow.
Yeah.
And now that money that you're borrowing, right? You're gonna have to pay interest on that money, and now that money is costing you more.
Right.
And so that money that you could have been saving, you now giving it away to a bank.
Right.
The same money that you said you didn't have. The same money that you said you couldn't save.
Right. It's expensive to be poor.
It is expensive to be poor. So it's important that we stop trying to rationalize with ourselves and think that, I don't have money to save, because the money that you don't have to save is going to be the same money that you give away.
Right. Wow. Yeah, that was dope. So I'm here with my guy, Ash Cash.
Yes, sir. What's going on, brother?
Fresh off the plane from New York.
NYC, Harlem.
What was your name?
We got to be specific, though. We can't say just New York. We got to say Harlem. You know what I'm saying?
Why were you in Harlem? Outside of that's where you from?
Yeah, I'm from Harlem, born and raised, St. Nicholas Projects. But I was giving a TED Talk.
Okay.
Which even now, as I say that, is like feels surreal, because I'm the kid from the projects who I wasn't supposed to make it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so to make it out is dope, right?
Yeah.
But to make it out, then come back and to be teaching in the very place in one of the biggest platforms in the world.
Absolutely.
It's like that. It hasn't fully like synced yet, but it was big. It was big. I actually got emotional. I was on a plane, like tearing up, like
I saw that on Instagram. So, I mean, as people probably have noticed, and you'll notice from the B-roll, like we sit in the classroom. I think it's like first grade or something like that. Yeah. And the whole thing was that, especially when I think about what you do and even what I do, like you're a teacher.
Yeah, absolutely.
In essence, you're a teacher.
Absolutely.
You're teaching people about wealth building, financial literacy, and so forth. Try to take yourself back to like this moment, however many years ago, when you were sitting at a desk like this. I can't even fit these right now. So like, take yourself back to that and talk about just the journey.
Man, I mean, it's weird, right? Because I was always the guy, like I was not a good student.
Really?
I got kicked out of school in the first grade. For fighting. I've always been, I'm a big guy. I've always been a big guy. So I've always, and I've always been strong, and so I've always been a bully, for lack of better words, and I was that, you know what I'm saying? I was always a bully, you know what I mean? And so I was fighting. I actually got, it's weird. I got jumped. And I got kicked out still, because they knew that I probably agitated it. You know what I'm saying?
Did you?
Oh no, of course. You know what I'm saying? And, but that's what happened though. Like I was messing with the wrong one.
Right.
And they got together and was like, nah, we gonna put some hands on this guy.
Okay.
And so I got kicked out of school in the first grade. Got kicked out in the 5th grade.
Okay.
Got kicked out in the 10th, and then that was it. So 3 times. No, 9th and 10th. So 4 times. But either way, taking it back, is weird that I'm a teacher now.
Yeah.
Because growing up, I was the one disrupting class. Yeah. I was the one not allowing the teacher to do what they do. You know what I'm saying?
So wait, let me say this. Disrupt is a perfect word, because you were disrupting class, but now you're disrupting the way people not only perceive somebody that does what you do, because you are a black man. How tall are you?
6'3".
How much you weigh?
311.
Yeah, so to most people, especially non-people of color, you're a threat.
Oh, absolutely.
Or you're an athlete.
Absolutely.
But you're a wealth building expert.
Absolutely.
By far.
Absolutely.
So you're disrupting the traditional way that people have thought about saving money, spending money, investing money.
Yep.
What is in you that forces you, or that makes you this disruptive person?
Harlem. I'm home of the hustler. You know what I'm saying? So the thing about Harlem is that we set our own trends, right? So that's why when I joked and I said, nah, don't say New York, you gotta say Harlem.
Right.
Even though Harlem is not even a borough, like it's part of Manhattan, but we don't even recognize that.
Yeah, y'all arrogant.
Yeah. I mean, you call it that, but I just say we understand who we are. You know what I'm saying?
I love
we know we the movers and shakers. You know what I'm saying?
Harlem is the Black Renaissance.
Black Renaissance, and I think that is instilled in you early. that if you want anything in life, you can't follow the well-beaten path. That you have to figure out. Like if you see a crowd going this way, go the other way, because that's where your treasure is.
Right.
And that's what's stuck with me ever since.
Right.
You know, like when kids were playing in the park. I was 8 years old packing bags at the supermarket.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When they was chasing the girls at 12, I was on 125th Street, selling T-shirts and mixtapes. And so I've always had this mindset that just said, if you want something, you gotta be different. Like I don't like being the same, right? And so that's why we talked about this offline, but that's why like if you look at Wall Street cats, they go to parties and they suited up. I'm wearing some J's because at the end of the day, I don't want to be defined by what is the norm,
Right,
and so when someone says they're a finance expert, they believe because they have a $2,000 suit that makes them the expert. Let's use our rap, let's use our brain, and let's see who could battle toe to toe.
Your background. How have you been able to merge the experience that you had in the streets of Harlem with the formal education that you've received, and then in some cases lack of formal education because you have followed the unbeaten path?
For sure. I mean, I think for me it's I believe in abundance, so I believe and is better than or, and so when I think about making decisions, I don't think about having to choose.
Right.
Because if I have to choose, then I need to figure out how do I get to a space where I don't have to choose, and I think that's where a lot of people their mindset goes off is because they're trying to figure out which one should they do. And I think that's my main message is yes, there should absolutely be balance, right? So you should not be working for money. Money needs to work for you.
Right.
You cannot have money work for you if you are solely a consumer.
Right.
But at the same time, if you're only a producer, if you're only an investor and you're not consuming, number one, just from a universal law perspective, you are stopping the flow of money. Right? There's a flow of money. Money needs to circulate. Right? And so if you're only producing and if you're only investing, you're stopping the flow of money,
I mean, so what are you? I always say like it's not, and it's cliche, but it's not how you start, it's what you do along the journey, right?
Absolutely agree.
We both had conversations where I'm like, yo, I'm not supposed to be here.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I've always, like every kid, you've always dreamed of doing something positive per se.
Yep.
But if I think about the things I've been able to be a part of and accomplish and the places I've been, and obviously there's still so much more to do.
For sure.
But I'm like, yo, I didn't think I'd be doing this in particular. What do you say to those people that, have had, because your journey is very unorthodox.
Yep.
Like if people were to tell me the first 6-7 years of your schooling and there was nothing else, probably the average person would be like, he's a waste.
Absolutely, yeah.
So like, what do you tell to those people that are, they might not be following society standards, but everybody, we all have something special in us.
For sure.
What do you tell those people that might not be excelling yet by society standards, but because God has put something special in all of us, how do they tap into that?
Yeah, I tell them this. I say, as long as you have breath in your body, that you are able to change your life around, no matter what your background is, no matter what your circumstances, no matter what you've been through, no matter where you are. Like the moment that you tell yourself that this is what I want and you focus on what you want, it will happen.
Yeah.
It's not about there is no right or wrong way to get to success. It's really about your mindset first and foremost. And so the moment that I said, you know what, I'm tired of doing this. This is where I want to go. That's when I started to be successful. Like I love this analogy of the GPS system. If you are in a car right now and you put an address and you say, I'm going to this address, and you keep taking the wrong turn, keep taking the wrong turn, the car is never gonna retrace your steps to get you to your destination. The car is simply going to recalculate from the exact place that you are. And then take you to your destination. And so a lot of people focus too much on the past. Focus on where you are right now. Today. And then how do you get to your destination from where you are? You don't have to think about what your missteps, what you did wrong, what could you do differently. None of that actually even matters. What matters is today, where are you? Where do you want to go? Now take the proper steps to get to that place, period. And so that's what I would tell somebody. I would tell them, stop focusing on the past, have temporary amnesia. Convenient amnesia. Do not get to a point where you're remembering your missteps, remembering what you did. Right. No. Say to yourself, this is who I am. This is where I am right now today. I want to get to this destination. What are the proper steps that I need to get to that destination? And just start taking those steps.
The Jay-Z thing.
Yeah.
Jay-Z issue. So you asked me, like, you know, what I thought. Honestly, I think us, especially black people, we're so quick to judge without knowing all the facts. It's just like even when we have a police shooting, you know. I mean, even if you look at the last instance last week when it was the Instagram privacy thing, you already submitted your privacy once you decided that you're going to be. So, but people are just so quick to jump on board. And I'm like, look, first of all, probably majority of the people that are criticizing Jay-Z aren't doing nearly close to what he's done to help people.
Agree.
I look at Eric Reed and I commend him for what he's doing, and as far as the NFL, but just still taking a paycheck from the NFL.
Right, for sure, yeah.
So you just have to look at a person's track record. Yep. And, you know, I always find it interesting that, like, majority of the people that are talking are saying Jay-Z needs to do this, or even Colin Kaepernick needs to do this, even though I do feel like Colin Kaepernick needs to vote. Yep. But, like, you can't tell another person what to do with their money because we all, in some form or fashion, have been beholden to entities that have not always historically been in our best interest as African Americans.
Sure.
But we still take those checks for those organizations and platforms, and I have no issue with it because you take that money and hopefully you go feed your family and you build the next generation of, you know, African American doctors, lawyers, financial experts, journalists, whatever it may be that can contribute positively to society, right? So I'm just like, let's just wait and see.
Yeah.
Honestly, I personally don't care because the NFL is not going to stop kids in Chicago from killing each other or the huge education wealth gap. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm like, while we protesting police brutality, every weekend 45, 50 people are getting shot in my hometown of Chicago. Yep. So the NFL is not going to move a needle one way or the other. Yep. However, you know, it is sports. So if people like Jay-Z and Malcolm Jenkins can get the NFL to put money in the programs that will ultimately help empower our kids, I don't have no issue with it. I don't care what the intentions are. I care about the result.
Absolutely.
So that was my point, and I'm like,
and that's a great point that you just said there. I don't care about what the intentions are. Right. I care about the results. Right. Because a lot of people might have good intentions, and I see this every day. Yeah. Somebody has good intentions, but based on their actions, they make things worse. Right. Then you have somebody who might be a capitalist, might be in it for the money, might be in it for all the wrong reasons, but still move the needle. The result is better. Right. So what do you care about? You care about optics? You care about how things look? Right. Or do you care about actual results? And I think that any change, so even if we remove Jay-Z, we remove the NFL, change has to come from within. If you want to change yourself, it can't be external. You got to do it within. If you want to change a corporation, you can't do it from the outside. You got to do it within. Right. And so I just believe that it, you know, especially us as a people, we are constantly want to fight against things instead of saying, how can we infiltrate it and change it from within? And so I, you know, and at the end of the day, it's still a wait and see. Right. I still want to wait and see what it does. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You know, if I think he has good intentions, I think that past his intentions, his track record shows that he makes things happen from a social justice perspective. Yes, sir. So let's wait and see. If he fumbles the bag, fumbles the ball. Yeah. Okay.
Who does it hurt?
And I think it hurts him more than it hurts us.
It doesn't hurt us.
It doesn't hurt us at all.
It doesn't hurt anybody. I mean, again.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean, you're putting. I think, especially us as people of color, we have a tendency to put so many emphasis on. At the end of the day, Jay-Z's a businessman.
Absolutely.
He's a hustler. He's a dope artist. One of the dopest artists. One of the dopest entrepreneurs of our generation. For sure. And of any generation. Same with Puff and, you know, several others. But at the end of the day, like, you know, if as black people, if we're looking for this one individual to change our habits that we can fix ourselves, then I have a problem with that. I'm not about to
100%.
I'm not about to criticize that man. When at the end of the day, the best thing that can happen is he can continue to change the world and change our lives. Absolutely. The worst thing that can happen is nothing.
Exactly.
Either way, we as people of color still need to make sure that our kids are in class every day. Exactly. That our schools aren't being shut down because of the lack of the lack of attendance from our kids. Like for me, it's about accountability.
For sure.
And so I've always said, like, we got to get your house in order.
Absolutely.
It's like, so what is it, throwing stones at a glass house?
Right.
Like, come on, man. Right. It's let's just let that man live. And and it's not about what Jay-Z even says about what he sees. It's kind of like when my man donated all that money or said, I'm going to pay off the student loans of the Morehouse graduates. Right. Somebody out there saying like, oh man, I need to do more. Whether you can do that or whether you can come into a classroom like that and help these kids. For sure. That inspired people. And that's to your point when you talked about money and the wealthy having to put that money back in order for them to continue to get even more wealthy, for them to have balance. That's the only way that we win, is if people like you and I and other people, regardless of what your success is or your income level is, and we come back into these classrooms, into these schools, and we help these kids and we help these parents and we support our teachers, because this is always like the foundation. You know what I mean? And so it's I want us to get out of that mentality as African Americans, to just being so judgmental. For sure. And because at the end of the day, like, you're saying he needs it, but what are you doing? Exactly, if you're saying Jay-Z doesn't need to partner with the NFL, then who do you work for? What do you do? Right. And, do your research. If you have a German car, like I do, do your research. Are you about to get rid of that car? Yeah. Look at the products and really figure out where they came from and how they was made. Yeah. Probably they were made overseas somewhere. Right. Probably, and not the most humane conditions. Yeah. Are you gonna get rid of your favorite whatever? Right. So it's a lot of self-righteous people. No, for sure. And they say hurt people. And I think a lot of times when you've been hurt so long, like, you want to take other people down, but you gotta change that cycle. Right. Like, I disagree with Kaepernick as far as him not voting. Like, that irks me. But I also look at the work that he's done in the community. He's giving his money. He's helping, saving people's lives. So, all right, ain't nobody perfect. For sure. I mean, granted, you have a lot more influence than the average person, but no one's perfect. For sure. Yeah. He did have a contract with Denver, and he turned that money away, and then part of it is just the consequences. And then the NFL was like, it's not worth whatever. But then behind the scenes, somebody got paid. Right. So I'm not judging them. Get your money. Right. Because I never met Colin Kaepernick, but I believe even whatever deal he signed with the NFL, whatever monies he's made, is obvious that he's putting that money back into the community and helping these kids and helping, entrepreneurs and activists and so forth. Right. So who am I to talk bad about this man? Right. Right. It's a lot of other people out there that are hurting us. Right. How many books do you have? 8. Man, 8 books. Yeah, you know what? You put books out like kind of like albums or something like that, or mixtapes. Like, how do you sit? Like, what kind of? Who are you? Like, what is it? I can't. Yeah, I signed with a literary agent years ago, and I sat down to write the outline, and it completely blew me away. Yeah. And I was like, this is not for me right now. Like, how do you sit down with a family and all the speaking engagements and everything you're doing and say, I'm gonna write a book? Yeah, I think we gotta maximize our 24 hours. I think that the same 2 hours that I could be on Instagram, the same hour that I'm watching Power, you know what I'm saying? Season premiere, I could be maximizing that. For me, I feel like especially knowing where I come from, I also know that when I leave this earth, I want to leave it better than how I found it. Without a doubt. And I want to leave a legacy. And I feel like using my experience, using my knowledge, using my wisdom, and creating something that can live forever. Because once God tell me, yo, Ash, your time is up. Yeah. I want people to. I want my name to live forever. And how does it do it? And I think that through taking my thoughts and putting them down in books is one of those ways. Right. But honestly, technology has helped me tremendously. When I wrote my first book, it took me almost a year to do it. Now I can write a book between a month and 2 months, because it's really about taking everything,
and outlining it. As a speaker, I could dictate everything that I'm doing. Fat shout to the gig economy, because I could hire somebody to translate, to transcribe the book for me. I could hire somebody to edit it for me. I could outsource all of the other things that I probably would have done to someone else. And so technically, all it takes is my brain to come up with the idea, make it creative, dictate it, get the information out there, and then I can rely on other people to make it look pretty and do what it does. And so I probably got 40 books in me, God willing, and so I look at somebody like TD Jakes. Like TD Jakes got probably like 30, 40 books. But that also goes to what we talked about earlier about changing your relationship with money, right? So me writing books is just a money principle, because it's but so many speeches I could do, right? And I physically have to be there. I have to get dressed. I have to go to the airport. I have to go to the spot. I got to get on stage. I got to talk, and I get a check for it. Or I write these books one time, and every single month, without fail, I get a direct deposit for something I did. So my first book came out in 2009, Mind Right, Money Right, 10 Laws of Financial Freedom. To this day, I still get checks for that book that I wrote 10 years ago. So it's a money principle as well. Like, how can you take your knowledge, create something that can now, I could be asleep. I could go to sleep and I still get paid. And I think that's what we need to start learning, is changing our relationship with money.
I think I'm gonna write a book about strippers.
Let's do it.
The real cash only business.
Let me know if you need help, because I think that's that's some knowledge that people don't tap into.
We can start at the Flame.
We can
start at the Blue Flame.
And we do some research.
Allegedly, I've been there before. And all of the strippers that allegedly I left is they were leaving, and allegedly they all drove nice German cars. Now that doesn't mean anything, but I'm pretty sure that the majority of the men that were in there didn't drive those kind of cars because they were giving the money, to these ladies of leisure.
Absolutely.
These very talented ladies. So that could be a book.
If I like the name too, Ladies of Leisure.
Ladies of Leisure. I respect the strippers, especially in Atlanta. We're in the stripper capital, and that's what it's about. That's what it's about. Again, people think that you have to have an exuberant amount of money. And like you alluded to earlier, like, it's actually easiest to start building this practice when you don't, because it's about discipline. So in the most practical way, I know there are apps that help people say, but if I give you $25 right now, if I have $25, can I go to TD Ameritrade and get an account?
Absolutely.
Do I have to, and then what do I do? Like, because a lot of people, including myself to an extent, are very ignorant on the process. Shit, I have $25. I got $50. I got $1,000. What can I do with it?
So I think first, you could go to TD Ameritrade. Even better, you go to Robinhood, because Robinhood does. So TD Ameritrade charges for trades. You go to Robinhood, that doesn't charge for trades.
And
I'm
gonna write this down.
Right, you put that $25, and now you start to say this.
Robinhood, like, how do you spell it? For
Robin, ROBINHOOD. Right,
ROBI. Okay, like Robinhood.
Like Robinhood. And it's an app that you could buy stock, right? And the good thing about it is that when you think about buying stocks, think about what you're spending money on. Think about where you're spending most of your time, right? If everybody's going crazy for this Popeye chicken, are you invested in the company that owns Popeyes, right?
It's your people. No, I'm not gonna lie. Wendy's has the best spicy chicken sandwich, though. I mean, just to get out.
What about Chick-fil-A? You don't like Chick-fil-A?
I mean, I rock with Chick-fil-A, especially because we're.
I haven't had Wendy's though.
Yeah, but Wendy's
spicy chicken is official.
Number 7 is hands down.
All right, I'm gonna have to try that.
It's just crazy. And then just don't knock the old school chicken sandwich. When you're at the crib, you get the 2 pieces of white bread.
That's it.
Douse it with the sauce.
That's it.
Put the cheese on it.
That's it.
Pop it.
Right.
Don't doubt yourself. You don't got to go to Popeyes to eat healthy and getting good. You know what I'm saying?
No, you know what I mean?
Shout out to Popeyes.
Shout out to Popeyes. Especially in Atlanta, though. And so that's the one thing, though, too, because I forget, was it Hank
Aaron has like a
27, billion. They said.
But also, my homegirl, Jennifer, Jennifer, I'm gonna shout you out because she is like a big time executive at Chick-fil-A, and she DM'd me and reminded me how many black female operators they have around the country for Chick-fil-A, which I think, I could be wrong, is probably more than any of the other fast food chains.
Wow.
I could be wrong.
But
the fact is you have a lot, and I know some of you have a lot of young black women, including down the street in the Camp Creek Marketplace, that and the airport that own Chick-fil-A. So it's not just Popeyes, because Popeyes is the hood, hood choice.
Right.
You know, even though I see churches rebranding themselves too.
Yeah.
But
they want some of that money.
Yeah, they want some of that money.
Right. And so we lead back to stocks, right? So now when you thinking about Popeyes, churches, Chick-fil-A, all these companies that are literally making money from our community.
Right.
Why not invest in that, right? The reason why it's an issue is because we're not owners of it. Right. And so we're saying we're making the owners rich.
Yeah.
Well, what if you were the owner?
Right. So for most people, I think for Chick-fil-A, the buy-in just costs $5,000. You just have to go through their program, which is a strenuous program.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, that's not a lot of money at all, considering, you know, you'll lose that in depreciation when you drive the lot.
Absolutely.
For a car.
Absolutely.
You know. So it's just, and one of the things I'm so happy because you're somebody that looks like me. You know, not to offend people, but I'll be like, that's a real ninja right there.
Right.
You know, but you're dispelling the myth that like you said earlier, you have to walk a certain way, talk a certain way to be a certain thing. And I think in 2019, especially in the age of digital social media, it's people like yourself that are able to show people, and not even what you say, but show people, look, just be who you are.
Right.
It's amazing the things that can happen when you're just yourself.
Just yourself. Because you don't got to practice that. You know, what did Dr. Seuss say?
I don't know.
Dr. Seuss said, be who you are, do what you do, because those who mind don't matter, those who matter don't mind.